Something in the warmth tells secrets to my cells about receiving the love that swims us through this life. My body is no longer mine, but a grain of sand, a rippling wave, a cloud drifting on the invisible wind. Opening to this day, this breath, this way, I find a place inside and outside at once, which is always here, awaiting my return. The lotus blooms in her own time. I may wait patiently or impatiently. It matters not. The comfort of this world dissolves into cosmic light beyond neon, beyond halogen, beyond stellar and solar. No desire ever answered meets the brilliance of the blooming lotus. Namaste, and welcome to this yoga practice session. As we begin, allow yourself to check in. Notice how it is that you're feeling today, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm Ki McGraw, and I'm honored to be here with you today to share with you my love for yoga. As we start, let yourself become comfortable and fully present. Teach you today progressively so that if at any point you become uncomfortable, you can back out of the postures, take yourself to your own level or your own edge. We use two guidelines to help us with that. They're the breath and the spinal alignment. Let's begin by taking a look at the spine. I'll turn sideways so you can see mine. We lengthen up through the spine, keeping the lumbar curve present. It curves in towards the belly. The thoracic curve is gently moving away from the heart. The cervical vertebrae will curve in towards the chin. And the chin is tucking just slightly so that we extend all the way up and out of the crown like this. Maintain that correct spinal alignment in whatever posture we're in. Good. Now let's take a look at the breath. I'll place my hands on my low rib cage, and as I inhale, you'll notice that the ribs open and lift. Inhaling. And as I exhale, the rib cage slowly descends. It gets smaller in circumference. Let's do it again. Also notice the belly as I inhale. The low belly softens and opens. As I exhale, the low belly gently draws in. Keep that breathing going until you become comfortable with it. This is slow, deep, full, conscious yogic breath. Release the hands and maintain the breath, holding that spinal alignment. Good. As we proceed today through the variety of postures that I'll present to you, make sure that both the spine stays in proper alignment and that the breathing stays full and deep. If at any point you feel that the breath is becoming shallow or tightened, back out of the posture, respecting the breath. Also, if you feel that the spine is starting to become compromised, collapsing the chest, jutting the chin and efforting too far, use that as an indication that you've gone too far for yourself. Again, maintaining that length of spine. Good. Now as we begin, we set our intention to be very clear about what it is we're here to do today. Consider what it is that brings you here to this experience of yoga, and allow yourself to close your eyes, going within. Connect with your intention as I connect with mine, joining us together. We come together out of a mutual interest in yoga. Yoga is that path which unites or yokes the body and mind of the individual self to the source of all beings. As we hold the postures and breathe freely and deeply, we open a space inside ourselves for that indwelling spirit to emerge and to indwell. So it is with gratitude that we begin our practice today. Grateful for the path, grateful for the practice that's before us, and grateful to all those who've come before us on this path. As we offer up together the sound of Om, inhaling. Hari Om. Shanti, 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 which means peace. Feel the vibration as you gently allow your eyes to open. And we'll come back now into our first posture. You can lengthen out the legs. Just moving gently and respectfully. We'll come into Khakhra Vajrasana, which is cat posture. Come into an all-fours position. Lengthen through the spine, lift the hips up, and lift the sternum up as you inhale. Head and eyes will then tilt upwards. Exhaling, reverse that tilt. Pelvis rounds, spine rounds, and head releases. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, lengthen through the spine, extending, lifting sternum, head and eyes. Exhaling, releasing. Rounding pelvis, spine, head drops. And again, inhale, arching up through the spine, sternum lifts, head and eyes come up. Exhaling, releasing. Gently move into a squat position now. Use the hands to support you. As you bring the feet underneath you, making sure that the heels are on the ground. Reach down and grab a hold of the toes so that you can draw the feet into a parallel position. Lengthen up through the spine, extending out of the crown of the head, breathing freely and deeply. Observe what comes up for you as you hold the posture. We're assisting ourselves in digestion as we hold the squat, preparing our body for the standing postures. Good, let's release. You can use your hand to support you as you press yourself forward. Draw the feet together. Knees are bent as the spine stays straight. And let's clasp the elbows with the hands. The chin is tucking to maintain the spinal extension. Breathing freely and deeply as we hold Uttanasana, or forward bend. This is a deep hamstring stretch. Make sure that you're pressing up the ischial tuberosities, which are your sit bones, and that you're lengthening through the entire spine, tucking the chin. It's not essential that you have the legs straight, but that you spend some time being with the hamstrings, noticing whatever it is that comes up for you as you hold the posture. Breathing, releasing the tensions, opening the body. We'll leave Uttanasana now. Place those hands together and inhale, bend the knees, come forward and up into Urdhva Mukhasana, upward facing posture. Press through both straight legs. Take the tailbone, pointing it down towards the heels, and lengthen the spine from that solidly grounded tailbone. Lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum away from the sacrum. Release the shoulders on the back. The ears are between the arms, so you lengthen up through straight arms. Head and eyes look up towards the fingertips, feeling yourself at once grounded and reaching up towards the heavens. Opening yourself to this day and to this moment, to this practice session in Urdhva Mukhasana. Breathing freely and deeply with no pain in the low back or cervical vertebrae. No pain anywhere, just observing what happens as you hold the posture. Good. Releasing now from Urdhva Mukhasana, draw the hands together, coming down into Namaste position. Good. And release the arms into Tadasana, our mountain posture. This is our standing posture. It's rather specific as we stand here. We press equally into both feet, lengthening up through the legs. Keep that sacrum gently tucking so you can extend up through the entire spine, lifting the sternum, releasing the shoulders, arms and hands by the side, and tuck the chin so you can extend right out of the crown of the head. Good. Hold the posture, breathing into it, and observe all the small adjustments that take place as we simply come into two-legged living. We'll use this posture again as we come and go from the other standing postures, which now follow. Let's inhale up the arms. Exhale, step the legs leg length apart. Arms extend to either side. Coming into Trikonasana, triangle posture, first to the right. Open the right leg to the right side, straightening the leg. And also the left leg will turn into the right, just a little bit, about 5 or 10 degrees. Press both hips forward. Lengthen through the spine and lift the sternum. Descend the shoulder blades on the back. Now we're ready to shift the hips to the left, staying long and straight on both sides of the body. Release the right hand onto your right leg, wherever it comfortably comes to for you, without trying to overstretch. Again, use the spine and the breath as your guide. We'll lift the sternum. Head and eyes will look to that outstretched left hand. The left arm is at a 90-degree angle to the left side of the body. Breathing freely and deeply as the body opens to receive the posture. Make sure that the right shoulder blade stays on the back. Good. Let's exhale and engage the abdominal muscles to press back up into our starting position, which is the 5-pointed star. We'll take that now to the left. Left leg opens to the left. Right leg will turn into the left. And just a little bit, 5 or 10 degrees. Press both hips forward. Lengthen through the spine. Lift the sternum. Descend the shoulders. And shift the hips to the right. Stretching to the left. Stay long and straight on both sides of the body. Left hand descends along the left leg, wherever it comfortably comes to for you. Lift through the sternum as you gently twist, looking up towards that outstretched right hand. Right arm is at a 90-degree angle to the right side of the body, and the head and eyes are looking up towards the fingertips. Take a few more full deep breaths here, making sure that the spine is long and straight, revolving around itself as you gently twist. Good. And let's release now, exhaling. Engage the abdominals. Press yourselves back up into your 5-pointed star. Draw the legs back together, pressing it down, standing in Tadasana. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale up the arms. Exhaling, release, and regrounding yourself. Drawing your energy back inside your mountain. Inhale. Rejuvenating, recharging yourself. And exhaling. One more time. Inhale up the arms. Exhaling. Feeling strong again and rejuvenated. Let's come into Trikonasana a second time. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, step the legs, leg length apart. Right leg opens to right. Left leg turns into right. Press the right hip forward to keep both hips pointing in the same direction. Lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum. And exhaling, shift both hips to the left. Descend the right arm along the right leg without rounding like this or collapsing forward. Just lengthen the left side of the body without compromising or compressing the right. Sternum lifts to twist up towards the ceiling, towards that outstretched left hand. Breathe freely and deeply as you hold the posture. Observing what's happening in the body and in the mind. Allow yourself to be present in triangle pose. Good. Last breath here. As you exhale, engage the abdominals to press yourselves up. Adjust the feet forward, and we'll repeat to the left side. Left leg opens to the left. Right leg will turn into the left slightly. Press left hip forward. Both hips are in the same plane. Lengthen through the spine. Lift the sternum, dropping the shoulder blades, and shift the hips to the right. Lengthen along the left side of the body with the left arm, coming only to where you can without compromising the spinal alignment or the breath. Twist through the sternum, looking up towards that outstretched right hand. Breathing freely and deeply as you hold the posture. Good. One more breath here. And as you exhale, press yourselves back up. Adjust those feet forward into our 5-pointed star. And let's come back together with the legs and arms. Regrounding ourselves with 3 breaths into Tadasana. Inhale up the arms. Exhaling. Good. Inhale. Draw energy back into yourself. Exhaling, regrounding. And one more breath. Inhale. Exhaling. Standing in Tadasana, allow yourself to observe the changes that are taking place in the body from having done 2 sets of Trikonasana. And we'll take it into our next posture, a more restful posture, Budo Dandasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, step the legs leg length apart. Begin with the hands back behind the sacrum, interlacing the fingertips. Lengthen the spine, uplifting the sternum away from the sacrum, releasing the shoulders. Feel a nice extension in the spine. Maintain that extension as you now release the arms onto the thighs. Hands are supporting you as you need it. And start to take it into forward flexion, like this. Keep the spine straight. As you breathe, coming forward in the posture, only coming as far as you can without compromising the spine. So if you feel yourself rounding or curving like this, let yourself just back out of the posture a little bit. Come on up to where you can maintain the straight spine. Breathe freely and deeply as you hold the posture. Good. Exhale. Come back up, engaging the abdominal muscles as you come up to support you. We'll take it now to the right side. The right leg opens to the right side. Left leg will turn into the right, making sure that both hips are pointing forward. Lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum. Take those hands behind the left hip. Like this. Release the shoulders on the back. Chin tucks just gently so you extend out of the crown of the head. And now release the arms. Again, maintaining that length of spine as you start to take it forward in a forward flexed position of the ischial tuberosity is lifting up. That's the base of the pelvis. Keep the spine nice and straight. We're working deeply in that right hamstring. Breathe freely and deeply without rounding or crunching through the spine. Lengthen the spine. Lift the sternum. Receive the posture and the lessons that are in the posture for you. Keeping in mind that yoga is non-competitive, so if your postures don't look like mine today, that's okay. Just be with the truth of your spine and your breath coming into your version of the posture today. Good, last breath here. As you exhale, engage the abdominal muscles to press yourselves up. Adjust both legs forward, and let's take it to the left. Left leg points to the left, as does the right leg. Keep the right hip pressed forward. Take those hands together behind the right hip or buttocks, and lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum, head and eyes up. Good. Release those hands onto the left leg and begin your forward flexion, maintaining spinal alignment, in particular in that low back, lumbar spine. Keep the right hip pressing forward. Chin tucks to extend out of the crown. Coming only as far as you can, maintaining two straight legs and the straight spine. Breathe freely and deeply as you hold the posture, observing what comes up for you. Sometimes we find difficulty with balance in Konasana. If that's the case for you, try squeezing the inner thigh muscles together to assist you in maintaining the posture. Last breath here. As you exhale, engage the abdominals, press yourselves back up. Take it forward, and we'll come again into our forward restful posture. Take those hands behind the sacrum, interlacing the fingertips. Lengthen up through the spine, sternum lifts. Good. Maintain the extension of the spine as you come into forward flexion. Breathe freely and deeply, going only as far as you're able to, maintaining the straightness of the spine. Lifting the ischial tuberosities, which again are the sit bones or the base of the pelvis. Lift them up to help that lumbar spine release and to take this posture into the hamstrings and inner thighs. Good. Let's come back up from the posture. As you exhale, engage the abdominal muscles. Press yourselves back up. Adjust those legs and draw them back in together. Let's press it down. Take 3 breaths, inhaling up the arms. releasing and regrounding. Inhaling it up. Exhaling. Coming back into Tadasana one more time. Inhale. Exhaling, releasing, regrounding. Take a moment just to notice how you're feeling in your mountain posture after coming through that particular sequence. Next we'll come into a tree posture, Vrksasana. It's a balance posture. Leaving our Tadasana, mountain posture, shift the weight into the right leg. Let the right knee stay bendable slightly, so it's not locked back or hyperextended, not forcing. Start to draw that left leg up. Beginners have a hard time with balance and may need to keep that left leg just like here, with the left knee pressing back, with the left foot nearly on the ground. That's fine. Be where you need to be. Students who have a little bit more balance already can start to draw that leg up. The left leg comes up in the posture until it's all the way into the very inner side of that right thigh. Once this is done, that left knee can press back and down. If you feel totally secure here, we come into the fullness of tree. But for many of us, that takes a long time. Be with where you can be, maintaining your foundation. Both hips are solid and in the same horizontal plane. Hands begin to ascend also, drawing them up through Namaste position. And inhale, gently allow the branches of your tree to grow. Head and eyes will come up, adding shine to the leaves in your tree. Keeping in mind that no two trees are identical. So if yours doesn't look like mine, that's okay. We all start off as a sapling. Take your time to breathe in the posture and observe the strength of the standing leg rooting you in the ground, and the inspiration in the branches, the trees as the arms reach up. Nice, releasing now. Coming back from the posture, come down through your Namaste position. Assist that leg in releasing. Take it back down into Tadasana and start to shift the weight into that left leg, working to build our tree posture on the left. Make sure that that left knee is slightly softened and bendable, that it's not locked back. And again, gently begin to lift that right leg up to your position. Starting as a sapling is fine. Keep the right knee back. As you advance in the posture, that leg ascends, keeping the hips in the same horizontal plane. And if you're able to, you may play with pressing that right knee back with the right foot crossing. Both hips still stay in that same horizontal plane. Gently now take the hands together in Namaste. Lengthen the arms up. Release the shoulders. Lift the sternum. Arms are straight. Head and eyes look up and breathe. Let yourself grow in the posture, going deeper and deeper. Good. Now let's release. Coming back through Namaste. Release the right leg. And coming back into Tadasana. Let's take 3 breaths. Inhale up the arms. Exhaling, regrounding. Again, inhale. Exhaling, feeling the joys of being back on 2 feet again. One more breath. And exhaling, releasing. Standing in Tadasana and observing the change in the body from having just done your tree posture. Good. We're going to begin to come onto the floor now. As we do, we release the hands to the floor and the knees are bending, the hips come back onto the heels. We'll lengthen through the spine as the forehead reaches down to the ground. This is Virasana posture, hero posture. Allow yourself to just take a moment and release any tension that is accumulated from the standing postures. Good. Let's come up now into an all-fours position to begin our practice of Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is down-facing dog. The hands are shoulder-width apart. The knees and feet are both hip-width apart, giving us a solid foundation. Now the distance between the hand and the foot is approximately your leg length. So check that out for yourself to make sure you have the right foundation as we begin. Good. Now tuck your toes and start to lift the hips up, keeping the knees bent, softened. Lengthen through the spine as you press back with the arms, making sure the shoulders are open. The head will release between the arms. Breathe freely and deeply as you hold this gentle partial inversion. And as you're able to, the heels may start to descend into the ground. Make sure that the breath is able to stay free and deep, and that the spinal alignment is still held. Allow time before those heels ever reach the ground, making sure that there's no compromise of the spine or the breath. Good. Let's release from the posture now, coming back into all fours. Lengthen the hips back to the heels and the forehead to the ground, coming into Virasana again. Just taking a breath and releasing here, becoming restored for our next attempt at the practice of down-facing dog. Come back up in your all-fours position. Hands are shoulder-width apart. Tuck the toes. Toes are hip distance apart, as are the knees. Maintain that alignment as well as the alignment of the spine as you lift the hips, lifting the ischial tuberosities. Lengthen through the spine. Shoulders stay open to the side. Engaging the lats. The tendency here for many of us is to compress the shoulders up around the ears, indicating our tendency and characteristic habit of holding tension in the shoulders. Use that as a lesson for yourself as you open the shoulders to receive the posture. Release that old habit. Pressing into the heels as you lengthen through the spine, making sure that the lumbar curve stays there and that the head is released. Good. Last breath in the posture. And exhaling, start to come out of the posture, back into your all-fours position. And again, the hips come to the heels, lengthen the spine, forehead to the ground. In Virasana. Leaving dog posture now. Allow yourself to lengthen the body on the ground. The head will just rest to one side. The arms will come down by your side. We're going to work for a little bit in Salabhasana, which is locust posture. It helps to strengthen the low back. Adjust the chin to the center now. Take a breath, and as you exhale, let's begin with the left leg, lifting a straight left leg, making sure that the left hip still stays on the ground. Good. Lengthen through the spine, press that left leg up. Let the left side of the back become strong all the way through the spinous erectus muscles. Release left leg down. Take a breath. As you exhale now, lift the right leg up, pressing the right hip down into the ground. Lengthening through the spine, allowing the muscles on the right side of the back to become strong and active. Good. Let's let that go. Allow the head to just rest to one side for a couple of breaths. And take the chin back to the center. And take both hands on the inside of the hips. Try to get comfortable with the forearms on the inside of the hip bones themselves. And as you're able, you'll start to press both legs up, using both legs, lifting two straight legs in Salabhasana. Breathe freely and deeply, and make sure there's no pain in the spine or back. Last breath now. Releasing. Release the arms, and take the head to the other cheek. Good. Allow yourselves to just roll over. We're going to work in a few postures here on the back. Adjust yourself to make yourself as comfortable as possible. And we're going to work in some specific abdominal exercises to strengthen the abs in a yogic way. Let's begin by bending that left knee. Keep the low back entirely on the ground. As you exhale, lift the right leg and draw the abs right into the spine. Now inhaling will release that leg down. Stronger students can keep the left leg extended as well. Exhaling, lift the right leg up. Inhale it down. Exhaling, draw the leg up. Inhale it down. Keep that going. Exhaling, we lift. Inhaling, we release. Exhale, lift. Make sure you're not kicking and that the low back stays on the ground. Inhale, release. One more time. Exhale, lift. And now let's inhale and release. Play with it on the other side. Bend right leg. Exhale, lift left leg up. Inhale, release. Exhaling, lift. Keep low back on the ground. Inhale, release. As you're able, you may extend the right leg as well, but make sure low back stays on the ground. Exhale and lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Draw the abs in towards the spine. Inhale, release. Exhaling, lift. Inhale, release. Last time, exhale, lift. Inhale, release. At any point, you could stop the tape and work on your abs longer. We can all use a little bit of additional work there. For now, we'll leave that abdominal work, knowing that nice strong abs help to support the low back in all the other postures. Let's come up to a seated posture now. Rolling to your side, being gentle and respectful. Take yourselves up into seated staff posture with that spine long and straight, as we've talked about so many times now. Lumbar spine curves into belly. Thoracic spine curving away. Chin is tucked in and the neck is long and straight. Both legs are straight. This is seated staff or Dandasana. If you need to use the arms to support you, press them behind the hips, keeping the elbows bent. Shoulders are relaxed on down along both rib cages, both sides of the rib cage. leaving Dandasana now, we'll come into fish posture, Matsyendrasana. Come back onto each elbow. Lengthen out of low back, lifting the sternum. Chin is tucking to release the head without compressing the neck. Keep the lift through the sternum. Allow long, slow, deep breaths. Good. Last breath here. Press yourselves back up into seated Dandasana, seated staff posture, maintaining the long, straight spine, or releasing the hands onto the thighs, but still maintaining the straightness of the spine. Observing what happens as you hold the posture. If you like, you can add to this your awareness of your feet. Draw the great toes together and begin to reach the little toes out to the side. Good. If doing that creates any kind of tension in your low back, just release it. Let that go. Good. We're going to leave seated Dandasana now, coming back into our fish posture. Fingertips behind the hips, releasing one elbow at a time. Lengthening through the spine. Lift the sternum up. Shoulders are released on the back. Extend out of the crown of the head. Breathe freely and deeply and enjoy the supported front opening posture. Release from the posture now. Press yourselves back up into your seated Dandasana, and we'll come into a few more seated postures. Draw that right leg into the inside of the left thigh, pressing the right knee into the ground. Maintain the long, straight spine and the full, deep breathing as we now inhale up the arms. Exhaling, begin to extend forward over that left leg. When you've gone as far as you can without bending the back, release the hands onto the left leg. Using the hands to assist you in levering slightly farther in the posture, going to meet your edge. Lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum. Good, and breathing freely and deeply. This is Mahamudra. This posture is one in which we're making a large symbol or prayer out of the body. In many ways that could be said of every posture we're in. Enjoy the prayer that you're making as you hold the posture, breathing, lengthening the spine, and opening that left hamstring. Good. Now we'll release from the posture. Exhale, extend the arms. Inhale, forward and up. Release the arms to the side. And let's open that right leg and right hip to the right side, about 90 degrees. In Janu Shirshasana, head to knee posture. Inhale up the arms. And exhaling, we'll twist over the left leg. Twisting, then round over that left leg. This is called head to knee posture, as it's indicated that we are to put our head on our knees. If you're not quite ready for that, that's fine. Be with, again, the truth of the posture for yourself, especially paying attention to your breath. This posture is excellent for releasing tension and the low back on the right side. One more breath here in Janu Shirshasana. Exhaling and extend through the arms. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, release. Good. Let's extend that right leg so that we're back in our seated Dandasana posture, and we'll repeat those two postures together on the other side. Draw the left leg in. Left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale up the arms. And exhaling, keeping the spine long and straight, come into forward flexion. Release the hands without sacrificing the alignment of the spine. Use the hands to lever you a little farther in the posture to meet your edge. Lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum, extending out of the crown. As you maintain the straight spine and full and deep breathing in Mahamudra. Last breath here now. Let's exhale and release. Inhale up the arms. Exhale. Release the arms to either side. We'll open up the right leg into our Janu Shirshasana posture. Inhale the arms up, and now let's twist over the right leg. Extend forward over right leg, taking the head towards the knee. Keep the left knee pressed down onto the ground. And release that head towards the knee. Feeling the nice stretch along through the left side of the lower back. Good, last breath here. Exhaling. Come on up, extend the arms. Inhale. Exhaling, releasing. Extend both legs forward and shake them out in our seated Dandasana posture. Our next posture is Konasana, angle posture. Draw those knees in and open the legs to just a 90-degree angle. This is not a full extension to either side of close to 180 degrees, but just a nice 90-degree angle. Good. Use the hands as you need to lengthen up through the spine. Elbows are bent, shoulders are relaxed on the back. Keep the sternum lifting. And if you're able to maintain that posture as you release the hands back to the knees again, go ahead and feel free to do so. Now, keeping the low back straight, start to take yourself into forward flexion. Noticing that at no time will we be rounding or curving or collapsing in the chest, but extending, lifting the heart to the good Mother Earth. Lift and offer yourself, opening yourself. Keeping the spine straight. The feet and knees are both pointed up towards the ceiling. Keep extending out of the crown of the head. Make no attempt to go beyond your own edge, but just respect it, breathe into it, and observe what's happening for you in the posture. Good. Exhaling, let's release from the posture. Using the abdominal muscles, lift yourselves back up. Grab a hold of the inner knees again, and take the feet soles together, pressing the knees down to either side, lengthening up through the spine, elbows are bent, and the shoulders are descending on the back. We extend out of the crown of the head in Budo Dandasana, bound angle posture. Moving from here into a slight bit of forward flexion as you're able to. Keep the spine long and straight, again lifting the sternum. Breathing freely and deeply. These last two postures are very good for low back difficulties. Breathe and open the hips, releasing tension in the low back. Receiving the benefits. Good. Last breath. Exhaling. Draw the torso back up. And extend both legs. Shake them out a little bit. And we're preparing now for our final postures in a reclined position. making yourself as comfortable as you can. Draw that right knee in and twist the right knee over to the left side of the body. Right arm will extend and the head and eyes look to the right. Press the right knee down to the floor using the left hand, and the right shoulder releases to the floor as well. If you notice that the shoulder is off the floor but the knee is on the floor, back out of the posture slightly towards the shoulder, balancing out that difference, balancing the spine, balancing the twist all along the spine, lengthening through the spine with each inhalation, and each exhalation takes you a little farther in the posture. Last breath here. As you exhale, release. Draw that right knee back in towards the chest. Squeeze it in, and now let's extend the right leg. Good. Left side now. Left knee comes in. Twist that left knee all the way over to the right side. Right hand helps to support that. Head and eyes will look to the left. Left shoulder releases on the floor. Breathe freely and deeply, lengthening the spine with each inhalation. Each exhalation twists you a little farther. Now look to the hand. Good. Last breath here. Exhaling, release, untwist, and grab that knee into the chest. Extend the left leg out, making any minor adjustments you may need to keep yourself in a relaxed state. Grab a hold with the heels to lengthen those legs. Open the hips up. Allow the feet to gently open to either side. Adjust each shoulder down along the sides of the rib cage, and the hands are up towards the ceiling. Take a last few breaths with the eyes open, and then gently allow yourself to close the eyes, taking the senses back inside yourself. This is Shavasana posture, corpse posture. Breathing, hold the posture, and allow yourself to begin to scan through the body, observing as you scan through the body any areas of physical tension or difficulty. We'll begin with the face. Starting with the face, release the inner ears, the inner eyes, sinuses, the root of the tongue, the throat, and allow that brain to rest back in the cranium. Good. Lengthen through the neck. As that neck opens to the floor, relax both shoulders, completely releasing any burdens that still may be present onto the floor. Feeling the weight of both arms pressing into the floor, and notice the open receptivity of each hand, drawing in and receiving the gifts from above. Observe the way that we're being breathed in the posture. The lungs rise and fall on their own, gently hugging the heart with each breath. Allow that heart to sit back into the rib cage a little farther. Allow the organs to soften and to rest into the back as well. Releasing the entire spine onto the floor. The pelvis softens and opens. Reproductive organs release. Release the buttocks. Feel the heaviness of each leg as the knees open to the floor. letting go of the feet and toes. You can feel the entire body completely relaxed. The whole body is completely relaxed. The whole body is completely relaxed. Now let's scan through the mental body, the emotional body, seeing to it that there are no tensions that are on your mind, in your memory, in your feeling body. And if you notice that any are present, you can simply release those the way that we would notice the clouds moving through an endless blue sky. Let those clouds of the mind just move on through, revealing to yourself the endless blue sky of our divine nature. Breathe freely and deeply as you drink in this divinity, steeping yourself in this endless blue magnificence that is you. You can stay in Shavasana, drawing in this essence until you feel completely satisfied and saturated. Good. Now as we begin to bring our awareness back into the room, draw that divinity with you and take it with you as we go back out into the world. Begin to allow it to move the fingers and toes, rocking the limbs slightly from side to side. And gently roll yourselves over to the right side. Use the hands to support you as you press yourselves up back into our seated meditation position. Keeping the knees in the same horizontal plane as the hips. You can use a pillow to help you with that if that makes you more comfortable. And take the time to lengthen up through the spine, releasing the shoulders. Chin is tucking and extending out of the crown. The eyes may still be closed as you make this adjustment into vertical living again. And just observe inside yourself the change inside the body, mind, from now as you compare it to when you first sat today, beginning your practice. Observe the many benefits that the body is receiving, as well as the mind and the soul. And so it is that with gratitude, we complete today's introductory yoga session by offering up together the sound of Om 3 times. Inhaling. Hari Om, Shanti, 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 which means peace. May there be peace deep within your hearts. Jai Bhagwan, it's my salutation to the teacher inside of you.